All right, guys, we're going to bring on our final guest. We've had Murray Smith and Dewey Cooper and Michelle Watterson, our last guest here. Pleased to have him on. Had some problems a couple weeks ago, and he was going to come on. So welcome to the show tonight, Sky Moiseichik. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on, man.
Thanks so much for joining us. Newly signed to Bellator. Congratulations. You're 2-1, but you signed with a pretty big company there. So explain the feeling there.
It is just great. It's really blown up for me. I've now fought in 3 of the biggest companies in the country, and now I'm working into one of the big 3. You know, I feel like the big 3 is UFC, Strikeforce, and Bellator, and I'm right there. I'm gonna go out there and kill it in Bellator and see if I can't get even more fans. We got a lot of fans when we were in Puerto Rico. We got a lot more fans when we were in Miami in CFA, and ABC is doing great. That was Walt Big Ticket you were talking to about starting a new promotion, right?
Yeah, he was getting ready to go there, but I know you guys are American Top Team affiliates, so yeah, that was Walt there.
He definitely needs to call me up because we could definitely use some more help in our amateur division. We're really trying to grow the sport of MMA down here in Florida. You know, it's really bad as far as fan base compared to everywhere else in America. In Florida, UFC came down here. They had a very small showing. We've got great fighters down here, a lot of really, really loyal, hardcore fans. But as far as getting the regular people out, we need everybody to kind of come together, the hardcore fans to come together and say, hey, let's support MMA. Let's come out to these shows. Let's get people out to the Bellator show. Let's get people out to these local shows so we can have more of the local shows. Because right now, there's only a couple shows. We're not getting a lot of fights. Fight Time just put on a good show. Fighter Source had a couple of great fights. But besides those companies and ABC, right now there's not a lot of fights going on for the amateurs. As far as the pros, you got CFA. I was lucky enough to get into Bellator and Fight Time, and that's all the opportunities guys have got down here. And we'd like to see them get even more and more opportunities. So we need to get more guys out and watching the shows out here in South Florida.
Hey, Walt, what are your thoughts on that? I know you got to go here in a second, but we'll just get your response.
No, I mean, I'm all for that, man. Like I'm like you. I want to grow the sport, and I mean that's my main thing right now. Being in Birmingham, we're not even as big as Florida. Like we don't have nearly as many gyms or notable gyms or notable fighters. I'm probably one of the most notable fighters from the state of Alabama. So besides Marcus Bridge, and that's my main initiative right now is to try to brand myself in the community and build a foundation for MMA in my state. So whatever I can do, we swap information, man. Whatever you need, I can try to link you over my people and try to bring some shows down there and give opportunities for people to fight, because that's what I'm all about, man. Giving back to people. So.
All right, that sounds good. You gonna be at Creek on Tuesday?
I'll be in Coconut Creek in a week, actually. I'll be down there in a week.
All right, when you're there, I'm there every Tuesday and Thursday night for Blockeo. I'll see you out there on the mats. We'll get it talked about. I'd love to have you down and judge some of the fights on the 19th. If I could get you committed to coming down to the fights, I'm sure some people would love to come out and meet you, man.
Yeah, man, we'll do it, man, for sure. I'll definitely get linked up with you, man. I'll be back down there no later than probably give me a week. That's what I'm working on. That's what I'm trying to get all this stuff taken care of at home, and then I'll be in a plane and I'm headed back down there to start the rest of my training camp. So I'll see you out there, man.
Beautiful. Hey, that's big news coming out on MMA Insider. Big Ticket going to be out at ABC on the 19th. That's great. Thank you, brother.
No problem, man.
So,
well, go ahead.
No, go ahead, my man. I'm just excited about that. That makes me feel good. More celebrities at the show.
Yeah. Hey, I know Walt's got to run here, so I asked him to stick around because I know you want to talk to him. But, Walt, where can the folks keep up with you as far as Twitter and the other kind of stuff, and what you got going on real quick?
Fight December 8th, main event, Birmingham, Alabama. If you ain't got a ticket, you need to get a ticket because it's going to sell out. Twitter, at the Big Ticket 205. Facebook, Walt Harris. Big Ticket in the middle, Walt Big Ticket Harris. Instagram, the Big Ticket 205. Here every Thursday night. Me and Jody about to get together and put together some promo stuff, so y'all should be listening out for some ways to win some free tickets. You know, just some different stuff, man. We working on some stuff, man. We moving, man. I'm back, baby. I'm back.
Yeah. All right. Well, we appreciate it. Looking forward to that. And it's just great that you finally have news there. Something going on for you. So we appreciate it, and we'll talk to you again next week.
All right, later, everybody.
Talk to you later, Walt. Take care.
Thanks.
All right,
That's
guys.
Michelle we got on here.
What's that?
That's Michelle we got on there?
No, Michelle left. You're still here with me and Carla J, the real Carla J. She makes
Carla.
Michelle Watterson look terrible. So hey, Carla, to bring you in, I know you haven't said much tonight because you're busy doing your stuff there. What were your thoughts on what he said earlier as far as, everyone knows the UFC, but the smaller promotions, is struggling out there. It's hard for them to get the word out, and people, give them a chance, or just, kind of, they see UFC as MMA. So what are your thoughts on the smaller promotions and the things that they can do to get the word out and get fans to come to see them?
You know what? I think that what he was saying just before about like Walt and other celebrities, other people with notoriety, just going and really backing and supporting, all of the different events that they have. I think that that's great. I think a lot of the coverage, is great if you guys have people there locally and people that are going to that would be able to cover it and air it on the internet. I think that there are a lot of different outlets out there, especially with social networking, that can really push and take a lot of things to the next level. I mean, that's a lot of things that I'm doing right now with a number of various boxers, that don't necessarily have that notoriety. They want to get, set up an interview and, get that coverage and get the shots and things like that out on the internet. And, hopefully with that exposure, they can get some additional fights and things like that. And I think that on a higher level, on a larger scale, that is definitely an option for you all to do as well. Definitely have people there, utilize the internet and the social networking, avenues that are there so that you can get that coverage and get that exposure. Because I'm definitely for it. I'm all for the fights. Everyone knows that, and whatever we can do to, grow your organization and get that exposure, we're definitely 110% behind you.
And the one thing, Sky, see if you agree with me here, but I think the one thing that hurts, and the small organizations, the amateurs or whatever, in professional baseball, let's say, the major leagues, they promote, the minor leagues are not against them. They want them to succeed. They're not against them. But, I guess you could say the UFC is the major leagues of MMA. But, they're your competitors. They want to squash you. They're not doing anything to help you. So it's kind of hard when you have, someone that's not looking to help you at all, but looking to squash you, even though ultimately, a lot of fighters that come through organizations like ABC are going to end up with them at some point.
Well, we hope that a lot of our guys end up in the larger organizations, and I think that I'm talking about even UFC has trouble in South Florida. I understand that there's bigger and smaller organizations, but even the UFC, they did less than 7,000 people. I mean, they did half of the stadium. I mean, when they were done here, it had been 5 years since we had a UFC. They did another UFC, and Dana said it would probably be another 5 years before they come back. And we're really just trying to get a push on it. ABC is trying to be an organization and that sends guys into the pros and makes good, successful fighters. And we've done that with Tisha Torres. You talked to her the other night. She was actually our first female champion, and we're very, very proud to have her as a part of ABC. She came in and helped us out in our first couple fights. It's helping us as a judge in a couple fights, and then she moved on and became our first female champion, and that was for a a #1 spot in the world, and you saw her just perform beautifully in Invicta. That was an excellent fight. And one of the things about the women's fights is they are all so technical. Invicta did so well at putting together the best women in the world, the most technically sound. You didn't see girls going out there and go, oh, that's a girl fight. Everybody who was watching with me were like, oh, my God, I cannot believe a girl hits like that.
Yeah,
guys
I
like
love
me
what
who
they're
train
doing,
with
you
the
know.
girls.
Oh, go ahead.
Guys like me that train with the girls, they know. Oh, but when guys haven't seen girls fight at that level, it's a oh my God experience for a lot of them.
Well, yeah, to go on what you said, I first time I didn't watch Invicta 1. I went to Invicta 2 because I'm friends with King Mo, so, he was announcing, so I said, well, I'll turn it on, just to listen to him, and Invicta 3, I wasn't turning to watch him. I was watching the fights. Those girls are great, and I really like the way Invicta does it. I mean, they have girls that are, not hard to look at, like Michelle and some of their other fighters, but yet, they're not there just as models, having, pillow fights. They're incredible athletes. They're, like you said, they're really, really technical. Tisha, it's hilarious because she's so good. Well, it's not hilarious, but she's so good. But you look at her and you can't believe that she'd actually punch somebody, when she looks so innocent. So it's really a great product.
And
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying, so tell us a little about, obviously you're starting your own fighting career, but tell us a little about, ABC and your involvement in that and how that all came about.
Oh, man, thank you so much for asking. I started working with MMA, really wanting to make it a career, so I was just doing anything I could to go and find a job in MMA. Somebody said, hey, we need somebody to set up a cage. So I went and set up a cage, and that's how I met Aaron Rajman, my business partner and best friend. And now he and I built a cage together about 2 years ago for a Fight Time show, I think it was. But we met up, we talked about, hey, we would like to start an organization. There's not enough amateur fights. Guys can't get amateur fights. Well, we never did anything about it for about a year, and then Aaron, who was 8-0, had 4 titles, the #1 145-pound amateur in the world at the time, actually had a really, really bad accident with a glass table slicing through his leg. And instead of letting that get him down and letting that, cause him misery, he got stitched up, and in the time that he couldn't train, he called me up and he said, hey, when we talked about that we should start our own amateur promotion and then that there needs to be more fights, I was like, yeah, said, let's do it. So we went and took that negative, turned it into a positive, and we started ABC. We thought we knew what we were doing our first show and turned around and only got 4 fights on the card. I'd lost 8 fights in the last week and pretty much had everything bad happen the first show that could. It happened and turned around and had the best 4 fights you could absolutely imagine. We had 4 great fights. Even Ivan Agenor won our first title that night, and after he won it, I was like, we got to throw another show. We got to do this right. And since then, we've done more and more and more and more fights on each card. Our last card had 18 fights on the card. It was an absolutely wonderful card. We've got our own stars. If you go to YouTube and watch the Jermaine Barnes versus Garrick James fight, you can go to our website, fightabc.com. It's right on there. The first thing when you get there, Jermaine Barnes versus Garrick James. It is the best amateur fight ever. I'm telling you, that is the most awesome fight within Florida rules. I have to say that I don't like all of Florida rules, and we'd like to get them changed, and we're going to try to, in the next year, work with Global Fighting Solutions to get an advanced amateurs division where guys can ground and pound, because right now in Florida, guys can't ground and pound, and it's kind of a sad situation because they go into the pros not being completely ready to be pro fighters.
Right, yeah. So explain to us, how difficult is it for you to work with American Battle Championships, getting that thing going while trying to be a fighter yourself at the same time? Is it really hard to concentrate on both things at one time?
It is so incredibly difficult, but I have a team of people that are behind me that really make it possible. Sam Jones, who's the third member of our team, it's me, Aaron Rajman, and Sam Jones, who really run ABC and take care of all the stuff. But Sam not only takes care of ABC stuff, but he completely takes care of all of my strength and conditioning training, works with me a lot on technique, works with me a lot on my wrestling, on my boxing. He's a Bellator veteran and a very, very good fighter, state champion wrestler. Got some championships in judo, just a great guy, and a nutritional whiz, and he's got me eating right for this fight. I've changed my diet, changed the way I rest. I've just done everything that I can to try to get ready for Bellator while still taking care of everything for ABC, because it really is a lot of time-consuming stuff. There's a lot of behind the scenes that people don't know about. They think you just throw a fight and people come, and it really takes a lot of work. We put in hours and hours on the card, making a really nice, even card. We spend hours getting a nice setup. We do things for the fighters no other companies do, and we just do it because we're fighters. We know how the fighters think. One of the things that we do that no other company does, and I really want to encourage every amateur fight company to do, if not every pro company, start to provide wraps and tape for the guys, because these guys are coming out to fights. They're not making any money for being there. They're paying out of their pocket to travel there. They're getting everybody to pay to watch them fight, and then they got to pay $30 for wraps and tape. So that's one of the things we've taken care of. We also feed the guys after their weigh-ins. That's just these little simple things that ABC does to try to pay back the fighters that we love doing.
Yeah.
We're so happy to do it. We're happy that we've got one of the biggest, most growing rosters around, and our cards are absolutely awesome. And then the other thing that I wanted to talk about real quick that we're doing, and in ABC that other companies aren't picking up on yet, and there's a real market for, is giving guys who want to be recreational fighters fights. When I started fighting, I didn't want to be a professional fighter. I never saw myself going into Bellator. I just wanted to fight somebody. So in ABC, we've given guys a recreational league, a league where they can go in and fight just because they want to have fun. So guys anywhere in America, if you want to come and just have a fight for fun, come down to ABC. We pay for hotel, we pay for meals, we don't pay for travel. But you get down here, we'll get you a good fight. We get everybody good, even fights. And we're down for not only just getting guys who are going to go in the pros, guys who are like Jermaine Barnes, who's going to be a great pro out of our organization, but we get guys who aren't going to be pros fights just because they want to fight. And that's one of the things I'm really proud of with ABC.
Well, I think that's an option for you, because I know you like to throw down quite a bit, so maybe you can do a sanction there.
You know what? That's right. I can go and throw down.
Carla's nasty. Talking to you, Sky, I pretty much know the answer already, but I'll go ahead and ask it anyway. Where does your real passion lie? I mean, are you more focused, I know you want to achieve both, but are you more focused on the MMA as a fighter yourself? Is that where you want to excel, or is the majority of your concentration behind the promoting an American Battle Championships?
Actually, it all kind of lies on a bigger goal, a more long-term long-term goal for me. I would like to coach some world champions. The reason that I'm in Bellator and the reason that I'm fighting is not because it's my thing to be a fighter, or although I really enjoy it. I enjoy being well known, but I do it because I want to be a great coach one day. I want to coach future world champions. I know that already in ABC there are some future world champions, and I enjoy working with those people. And in the future, I hope to be one of the great coaches. I hope to be like a Ricardo Laborio, like my coach, Wilson Govea, like Sam Jones, who does my strength and conditioning coach. I just want to be a great coach in the future. That's where the real passion is for me. But to do that, I think, requires going there, to really tell somebody, this is the way that it's done, and this is how you do it, and I know because I've been there. You have to really have been there, and I'm going there now, and being in Bellator, getting this experience, I think is great for me, and it's going to make me a better coach in the future. Don't get me wrong, I'm coming to knock Shannon Slack's head off, but what really drives me is I want to one day be one of the greatest coaches in the world.
One of the things that you
awesome
did is that you are working with a number of, currently you think that some of the fighters are future world champions now. Is there anyone in particular that stands out for you right now that you're like, this kid is going to go places? Is there anyone that you can name at this moment?
Aaron Roshman. I won't go too far into it, but he's 8-0. He's one of the most driven people in the world. His faith in God is unshaking, and he is absolutely driven for success, whether it be in MMA or anything else. He turns negatives into positives. He is definitely going to be a world champion. His answer to everything is train, 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 train. And I tell him, I'm hurt, Aaron. Train, it'll be better. So him definitely. But beyond him, Jermaine Barnes. Jermaine Barnes is a guy who just won our heavyweight title because he got called out on Facebook by another guy and went and said, fine, I'll fight you, and I don't care what the weight is. And went up to heavyweight to fight this guy for a title and knocked him out with a snap kick to the face in the third round. And must have been giving up 30 pounds to the guy.
Well, that's a nice change, considering some people in other organizations are a little reluctant to go outside of their comfort zone, whether it be weight class or whatever. They're more worried about always having the advantage when they step in the cage. So it's nice to hear of fighters like that. So just have a couple of minutes left here. Tell us just, for the folks who don't know about your upcoming fight in Bellator. When is it? Who you fighting? And what you think about your opponent?
I'm fighting Shannon Slack. He was a coach on Tough. He's coming out of Team Couture. He's a really high-level, decorated wrestler. He lost a split decision to Matt McCook, but Matt McCook is a very, very tough dude, and that's the only dude he's ever lost to. So I expect it to be a tough, hard-nosed fight. I know Shannon Slack works very, very hard. I got nothing but respect for the guy, but I feel like my stand-up's better than his. I got a great ground game, and I do the work. I'm putting in the work, and I'm ready to fight him. He's a great opponent, and I'm ready to move up the ladder at 145. I've really been waiting a long time for this. I've been training the top team a long time. I'm up there at Coconut Creek every Tuesday and Thursday trying to push myself even harder and harder. I'm at ATT Miramar. Big shouts out to my gym. Anytime anybody's around Miramar, come to American Top Team Miramar. Head coach is Wilson Govea. Great team over there. Master Bruno teaching jiu-jitsu is just some of the best jiu-jitsu you can absolutely get in the world. Can't say enough about how much I love ATT Miramar. Yeah,
I mean, just got another couple minutes here, but just explain, the the importance of being involved in something like, you know, you have the big mega schools, the Jacksons, the American, the AKA, the ATT. So explain the advantages of being involved in a big team like that. I know Walt, one of the problems he has in Birmingham is he's a smaller gym where, you know, he's a dominant guy. So that's the reason he goes to America Top Team, where he can, you know, be pushed and elevate himself. So explain, you know, the advantage of being at a mega school like that.
Well, when you go and you really seek out the best, you really find where it is for you. I went and came to Miami to look for a really good total MMA school, because I was at a jiu-jitsu school. I was under Rodrigo Grino. Excellent jiu-jitsu guy, but that's what he is, a jiu-jitsu guy. I couldn't keep going and progress further under him, so I came to Miami. I went to a lot of different schools. I went to different places, and it took me a while to find my niche at American Top Team in Miramar. But the great thing about the American Top Teams all around is that then all of their top guys go to Coconut Creek, and we all get to spar each other. So I get to see the top guys from all over the area when I go up there to Coconut Creek. And then the top coaches come to me, you know. So the other day we were at Top Team, and Jason Kelly, who's one of the top coaches, he coached Hermes Franca, he coached the Nogueira brother. Just the list goes on and on, but he's a top-level wrestling coach, was there to help me learn wrestling, get ready for Shannon Slack. There's so many just top-level guys out here and that are involved in American Top Team that it's just a blessing. It's just a blessing that we get to be where all these people are, and that, the coaches have come up with such a community that we can bring them all together. We can all work as a team and get better, you know. They say it at ATT all the time, steel sharpens steel.
Well, you know, we appreciate you joining us tonight. It's always a little rough when we have a guy as shy like you that it's hard to get any words out of, but appreciate you joining us. Tell the folks where they can follow you, keep up with you, and American Battle Championships, and anything else as far as shout-outs you want to give.
Okay, skyfights.info, that is my site, and then fightabc.com. Or if you guys can't remember that, AmericanBattleChampionships.com. Go there, watch that Garrick James versus Jermaine Barnes fight. Jermaine Barnes is going to be fighting, and he's going to be on the next card. We got a huge next card. I think we've got over 25 fights on the next card. Richard Dent is going to be on that next card. Matt Waggy is going to be on that next card. They're going to be fighting for the 145 title. Jeff Henry, who is also going to be a star. We talked about who's going to be a star. Jeff Henry, he's going to fight Smith Omnisol for the 175 title. Whoever wins that fight, they're definitely going to be a star. That is a huge fight, a main event fight at the next fight for the 175-pound title. And that's all at Renegades in West Palm Beach. You can read all about it, buy tickets for it at fightabc.com, Bellator.com. But, guys, get a hold of me. If there's anybody out there that wants tickets, get a hold of me. I'm on Facebook. There's connections in my Facebook right on my website, skyfights.info. So just SKYfights.info. Real easy to remember. And thank you so much for having me on the show.
Yeah, we appreciate you joining us, and in anything we can do to help, you know, a big fan of the small organizations. You know, without those, you know, the big guys will never be able to get talent that's ready and groomed to be there. So anything we can do to help, and it was really a pleasure to have you on, and thanks so much, Sky. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you so much. We'll plan on getting Aaron Rajman on before our next fight. I know I talk a lot. Aaron's a little better with words than I am, so we'll get him on next time.
Yeah, definitely. We'd love to have him. That sounds like a plan. We'll hook up with me, and we'll bring him on the show for sure. Appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Right on. You
All right,
take care.
You too. Bye.
All right, so that was Sky Moiseichik. A huge night tonight, a real busy show. Started with the CFFC presser, and then we had a Murray Smith, UFC legend, kickboxing legend, Dewey Cooper called in. Some good conversation there. I think you missed that, Carla, between Dewey and Mo, and Walt got pretty heated there right before I brought Michelle Watterson on. She joined us, Karate Hottie. She was great, and then, of course, we finished with Sky there. Great guy, obviously passionate about American Battle Championships, and that's great because, you know, the small organizations, people need to get behind them and, you know, and support them and let those guys on their way up do their thing. Carla, I know you get to say much tonight.
I just really like to, I was just, you know, saying I just really like to, you know, for those guys to get, you know, much more, you know, exposure and really see them on a lot of the social sites and things like that. You know, just to have that visibility, I think that would be great because obviously they're passionate about what they're doing. So that was great. It was great to hear, you know, you could just hear the passion in his voice, and that was great. It's good to hear that from fighters. Yeah,
that was awesome. All right, well, Carl, we just got a moment here left, so go ahead and tell the folks where they can follow The Real Carla J at.
They can follow The Real Carla J on Instagram and Twitter at The Real Carla J. That's Carla with the C and J-A. And also on Facebook, and that's just Carla J. And that's about it.
All right, yeah, and appreciate ATG Radio, obviously, for hosting the show. I do want to say before we go, I should have mentioned it earlier, we are an MMA show here, but we also do boxing. You know, send out RIP, rest in peace to Emmanuel Stewart, one of the greatest trainers ever, you know, a great human being from everything. So our condolences and sympathies go out to his friends and family. And thanks for joining us tonight. Check out Pro MMA Insider and Pro Boxing Insider, and we'll be back next week. Thanks to Frank Stea and Walt Big Ticket Harris.
That's right.
And that concludes the show. Take care, Carla.
Take care.